Hello there, welcome to part 2, where we'll be putting everything together. Woo! So at this step you should have everything cut out and ready to go. Like the heads here, they're all cut out, with the little crest part also cut out. So you can do that, but that's not what we're doing right now. The first thing we'll be doing is just like with the Carnotaurus, we've been doing the legs, and if you look carefully, you can see that they've been done pretty much the same, but there is something that is different, and you'll find out. And here is one of the T-Rex arms. It's not completely finished, but I'll show you what we're doing there. But first we'll start with the feet, and you will actually be needing, I forgot to mention this, you're going to be needing a few little rocks. About 4 of them should do, so just fine. 4 little rocks. And these rocks are going to go inside the foot. My Ultimasaurus also has rocks in his feet. Alright, so get your rocks. So here's the hands. Put those off to the side for now. And here's the feet that we'll be doing. Alright, so once again, here's the little claw. So I'm just going to make sure I get the right foot to the right side again. Alright. Okay. Make sure I have my tools. And you're also going to need some extra cardboard for this step. Alright. So once again, we're just going to put these together the same way we did with the Carnotaurus legs. We just bloop right along there. Take our foot and slap it down like so, keeping everything flat, moving it around. Okay, just like that. And there, it stands. Sort of, not yet. Alright, so next we do the next foot. Keep it nice and flat. Get this nice and curved. Get the hot glue right along the edge again, like so. Take it, slam it down, curve the claws, make sure everything's nice and flat, move it around so it doesn't get stuck to the table, because that's a hassle. Okay, and at this point it should look like so. At this point you can reinforce the insides, like so, and like so, just to provide a little more security inside of them. We can get that fixed up later. And now for this part, we put the hot glue up here, just like so. Get that all nice and up. And then since this is the side we want to, is going to be on the outside, we're going to just attach that just like so. And then you can just put it down and the foot should be fine. It's not cooperating right here, which is fine because we'll fix that up here in a minute. Let me just reposition the camera. Okay, so there you go. We got this attached. And now for one of the simplest steps of this, we're just going to cut out the little claw here. Doop, doop. So just cut out your little claw and yeah. Alright, now that you got your little claw cut out, take your glue stick, hot glue, do that, take your little claw, slap that down, and there you go. Got that claw attached. And then you can use your pencil to make sure you got the little line there. Alright, so the foot is almost ready. And keep your area clean. And I've also went ahead, because I've been actually thinking more ahead a little bit this time around. So I'm whatnot. But I've got these pieces cut out here, so I can slip them in here. And at this point, you also just want to make sure that the tips are going to be right at the tip, so they're going to connect really nice. Okay, so just fit these in here, just fiddle around, cut from the back, and move forward. So just cut, put down, just see how much you need to cut. Yeah, that should do. I'm just going to do a little extra trim. Alright, so once you get your nice little cut piece, just boom, 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 take it, snap it down, and make sure the foot's nice and flat again. Okay, and that should do it right there. And now we'll move on to the other side. We'll do the middle section last. So we'll just see where these go. Okay. Nice cut. Keep cutting it. You'll need about 4 of these per foot. So you're gonna need to make 4 of these little segments. Just get those nice and glued and slapped in there. And what I'm going to do for this part, since this toe right here is not feeling like connecting right now, I'm going to pour some extra hot glue in there at this point. Try to get it glued in there this time. So just keep fiddling around with this and get the toes all nice and glued in there together. Okay. And again, make sure the feet are nice and flat. And I still have these two cut out, so I will see you once I get the rest of this attached. So just continue doing this, and I'll see you in a minute. Alright, at this point you should have the feet like so. 1 minute. Oh, is that better? I hope it's better. So there you go. Push it like this. At this point you just want to clean all this up. So just start trimming everything. And just make sure it's flush with the outer foot. So as long as it's flush, doesn't really matter. And what you can do if you want is to bend these like this, and then try to glue it like that. I don't really do that. Kind of just put the top down and fill this in. So next step you want to do is attach the back strip. So get a piece of cardboard and your pencil. Do some little folding. Get this on the back side. Just mark it up like so. Just like that. Then you can kind of come in if you want and something like that. Alright, so cut this out and then put it on the back. Alright, so once you got it cut, you can put it back here and see how well it's going to fit. And from my experience, you want to get this as close as possible, so if you can. So you just want to do some nice test fits before putting it on. Okay? If you can, sometimes difficult to do it. It's quite a lot, but again, it's quite difficult to get this drawn out and then cut. But it can be done. Just don't want to mess up, which is a possibility. Okay, you can put it back. Just see, this line is pretty accurate. Let's go with that, and I think that's about where I want it. And as you can see here, it's kind of come undone. So I'm just going to apply a little extra glue in here. Now I'm going to attach it, and the way you're going to do that is, once again, you're going to glue it just like this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, you want to get this on as quickly as possible. And you gotta make sure everything seals up nice and good. So just go through everything as quickly as possible and seal it up. And then you can cut this excess bit off right there. Alright, so that's the back attached. Doesn't look very pretty, but that's okay, because at the end of it, once you clean it all up, it should look like this. Still not very, it still needs to be cleaned up a little bit more, but... Alright, so at this point, you want to put the rocks into the feet. So you can kind of get them filled in here, like so. Now you don't have to do this step, I just do it to add a little bit more weight to it. So just pop them in like that, and then take your glue stick, and what I like to do is pour the glue in like so. Move the rocks around. You want to make sure the rocks get attached to the base. You don't want them rattling around in the feet. That is important. So just make sure you get these attached well in here. Just like so. And then at this point, you want to take your other piece and put that in here, but first we'll clean our space. Alright, I don't know what I was talking about, but at this point you want to trace again. So put that here, go back here, and mark the outline like I did here. Alright, and cut it. And in case you're wondering why I'm doing a little more cutting instead of showing as much, is to make the video shorter, because when I make these put it all together, as you probably could tell from my Contours video, it was like half an hour clips, parts, and the Wi-Fi, our Wi-Fi is not very good, as I've said before. It doesn't really handle long videos very well, and my computer doesn't really like doing all the editing, but I'm making excuses, just yes. So, but we don't mind this more simple editing. And again, this is kind of stuff here self-explanatory, because we've already done this with the Contours, so it's not too difficult to figure out. Maybe it is, I don't know. Maybe you're just watching it to be entertained. If that's the case, okay. Whatever. Don't care. Alright. Also make sure you have plenty of glue sticks. So at this point, I'm just going to make sure the feet are nice and secure. And then we're going to start getting these all filled and covered like so. Okay. Then you want to take your pieces, get these where they need to be, slap it down, secure it. So, yes, it's not very pretty, but that's how I do it. And I can't argue with my results, so. But for whatever reason, my feet are still turning out to be a little bit wobbly. I don't know why. I haven't had that problem in the past, so I don't know. I just don't know. Just how it turns out, I guess. Each one is, that just shows that each one is unique and special in their very own way. It's a song, I think. I'm not entirely sure what it's from. I think it's just a song. Thought it was from Barney or something, but probably, maybe. My buddy, I don't know. Okay. Again, you can just cut this, and at this point, you know, use your X-Acto knife, clean up all of this, be careful, make sure you point the blade out. You cut all this, clean it up, any gaps you see here, fill it with hot glue, trim all this up, make it, yikes, so, yeah, so just start cleaning it up, and use all the tools that you have at your disposal to do so. Use your X-Acto knife, your little cutters, which work really well on smaller surfaces like footy here. Okay. Just keep on cutting right along. Keep on trimming. And when you have little mess ups like that, just get some hot glue on there. Like so. And thus and thus. And when you have gaps in here, you can use the hot glue to seal up any little cracks you might have. Also, you can use it along the edges. And so just like before, clean all this stuff up, clean it all up, and then we'll move on to putting the arms together next. Alright, arms are next. Alright, so we'll move on to that step after you finish cleaning up the foot, you get it all nice, we'll go on. Alright, so at this point you should have both of your legs put together. Alright, and something I forgot to mention. I just don't remember what it was. So, make sure you outline this whole top area in hot glue. So just want to do a hot glue seal on the top. You don't have to, you could use Elmer's glue, but I just do that. And if you kind of have to do what I did here, which use hot glue to kind of make it smooth out with the paper, it's fine. Once you paint that over, you shouldn't see any of it. Alright, so at this part we're going to make the hands. Now what I did differently with the T-Rex hands is that you notice I gave a little thickness to it. And for those who would like to give the arms some rotation, I'm going to show you the Godzilla hand I have here. And as you can see, I have the peg right here to put right into the body. And you can't see it here, but it's here. So pretty much what you're going to do is before attaching these two together, you're going to make sure you get their dot in the right spot. So we draw that out. And then you're going to want to put the hole down. So you want to press down here and kind of just work your way to get a hole. Slip this through and then seal it like that, and then it will be on the inside. But like I said, I'm not going to do that with the T-Rex. So that's just how you do that, like so. Then you're ready to put the arms on, you just slip that in and do that. Okay, alright. Okay, now to give this arm a little thickness, what you're going to is quite simple and a little, it's easy. So you're gonna need some piece of paper. Then you're gonna need your two pieces here, and what you're gonna want to do is first you're gonna put hot glue right along the claw line here. So just right here, like that, and right there. Make sure you get the claws, all of it. Then you want to take your hand and you want to press it right there. Make that as clean and as nice as possible. And then at this point you can decide how thick you want it. So you can use your finger, pinky, or whatever. I want to try to keep it as even as possible with the other one here. So I'm going to use this as a reference to how thick I want it. So about right about there, it looks like. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. So at this point you just want to take some hot glue and you want to pour it in right in here, like so. And you're going to use the hot glue to give you that thickness, just like that. And then you kind of want to also hold it just like that, so the shape doesn't go away. At this point, you can also start adding more to like the edges. And what you're going to do with the paper is once you get the hot glue all around, because it's going to be showing everywhere, you're going to take the paper and seal it along the entire edge, so you don't see any of the hot glue showing through. And that's just to make a nice smooth surface, because the hot glue doesn't really make it nice and smooth. Okay, alright, so just do this. Alright, and once it kind of hardens up, you can take your hot glue gun and start feeling it up, just like so. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, so you're going to want to let that dry. Once it dries, you can clean up the edges. And once this dries and hardens up, I'll show you what we do next, and also like any gaps. At this point, you should have your arm nice and cleaned up. So just clean this all up. Use your hot glue gun to smooth it out, clean it up like this, and also do the same thing with the legs. Smooth it out, and I'll also show you, that those big clunks of hot glue that, it's like, oh, it's fine. Well, I've decided to just get rid of that and smooth it out. So you can see, this is where the big thick piece of glue was. I cleaned that up, cleaned it back up. So it's okay if you want to go back and clean anything you need to up. You also don't really need to make this part super clean along the edges, because if you can see here, this is this foot. So that means you'll be seeing this part of the dinosaur. But if you like to make sure everything's nice and clean, go ahead and do that. And also, once you're done with this, put Elmer's glue all over it. Same thing with the hands. Alright, so at this point, this should be all smoothed out, cleaned up, and then you want to cut a piece, strip it out like this. And what you're going to do is take your Elmer's glue, and you're going to put the Elmer's glue right along the edges. You're going to slap a little piece of paper down. So that's what you're going to do. Just make sure your glue is going to start coming out. You don't need a whole lot. Oop. Whoa! Yeah, don't do that. You don't want that much. Okay. Okay, we're good. Let's just do it like that. Go up here. Do a little down here. Then you want to take your paper, put it right on the claw edge. You're just gonna fiddle with it. And it's gonna be a little fiddly. But just get it down like so. Work with it. Just like that. And what you can do to help it stay is, alrighty, so once it all dries up, you just want to trim all of it, clean it all up, like so. Just trim it all, clean it all up. Just trim it. Look, just trim all of it up. Okay. Do the same to the other side. Make sure you don't cut into the hand here. Just cut it up. Boom, boom, boom. Same way over here. Just clean it up. Okay. Alright. Again, off screen, I'll clean this one up and make it all nice. But after this part, you should have both the right and the left hand done, and the left and right foot done. Boom. Alright, and so once you finish trimming and get this all cleaned up, don't forget to cover it all in Elmer's glue again and seal any little holes or anything on them. Alright, and this is the end of part 2. I've decided to go ahead and just do 4 parts. So on part number 3, we'll be putting together the T-Rex body. Alright, so that's part number 3 when we put the T-Rex body together. And probably number 3 we'll also put the dino together, and then part number 4 we'll finish it all up. Alright, so that's where we are. So if you liked part number 2, great. So take your time, and also it takes quite a while. You just want to take your time and clean everything up, make it look nice. So just take your time, and there's still a few little things that I could still work on here. So just clean as much as you want up, smooth it out as much as you can, clean it up. Use your Elmer's glue and all that stuff, and you should be all ready for part number 3 afterwards. Alright? So take your time, and I will see you in part 3.